Welcome back to the channel, the place where we dive deep into history's most intriguing mysteries. Today, we're delving into one of the most infamous and spine-chilling enigmas of all time: Jack the Ripper, unmasking the serial killer. This mysterious figure, whose identity remains shrouded in the mists of time, terrorized the streets of Whitechapel in the late 19th century. In this video, we'll explore the unsolved mystery of Jack the Ripper, discussing the various suspects and the chilling details of the Whitechapel murders that continue to captivate the world's imagination over a century later. Our story unfolds in the dimly lit alleys of London's East End, Whitechapel, during the autumn of 1888. At this time, Victorian London was a city of stark contrasts, with extreme wealth and abject poverty coexisting side by side. Whitechapel, however, was the embodiment of this stark divide, a place where the destitute and desperate struggled to survive. Women, particularly prostitutes, were some of the most vulnerable members of this society, and their tragic stories often went unheard. The stage was set for a series of gruesome murders that would come to define this era. The victims, predominantly women who led hard lives, met a horrifying end. Their throats were slashed, and their bodies were brutally mutilated. These brutal and shocking crimes ignited panic and fear within Whitechapel and the greater London community. The chilling details of these murders, combined with the apparent randomness of the attacks, struck terror into the hearts of the public. The search for the elusive Jack the Ripper was a race against time. The investigations into these crimes were conducted under the watchful eye of Scotland Yard, the premier law enforcement agency of the time. However, the identity of Jack the Ripper remains a mystery to this day, despite the numerous suspects put forth. Montague John Druitt. Druitt was a barrister and schoolteacher, a seemingly unlikely suspect, who was found drowned in the Thames River shortly after the murders ceased. His connection to the case was primarily circumstantial, based on his sudden demise and the timeline of the murders. Francis Tumblety. Tumblety, an eccentric American quack doctor, had a penchant for collecting surgical instruments and a deep-seated hatred for women. While he was arrested on unrelated charges, he was suspected of being the Ripper due to the suspicious nature of his possessions. Aaron Kosminski. Kosminski was a Polish immigrant and a known lunatic who was institutionalized after the murders. Some modern researchers have suggested that he might have been Jack the Ripper based on a combination of historical records and forensic evidence. Walter Sickert. A prominent artist of the time, Sickert's connection to the Ripper case is largely speculative and based on artistic motifs in his work. Some believe that his paintings might hide hidden clues related to the murders. The list of suspects goes on, with each name sparking lively debates among Ripperologists, those who specialize in the study of the case. The truth is, there's no shortage of theories about who Jack the Ripper might have been, and the mystery endures. Jack the Ripper's methods were nothing short of horrifying. It's as if the killer possessed a chilling understanding of human anatomy, leading many to speculate about their medical knowledge. The victims were typically attacked in the dead of night, when the dark, foggy streets of Whitechapel concealed the Ripper's movements. Their throats were slashed with a surgeon's precision, and their deaths were swift and violent. But the horror didn't end there. In some cases, the Ripper engaged in grotesque mutilations, disemboweling his victims and removing their organs. These gruesome details left investigators perplexed as they sought to understand the motives behind such unspeakable acts. The level of brutality displayed in these crimes was unprecedented, and the sheer audacity of the killer to operate with impunity in the heart of London left the community in a state of perpetual fear. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Jack the Ripper case was the series of taunting letters and messages that were supposedly sent by the killer to the police and local press. The Dear Boss letter is perhaps the most famous among these. It was accompanied by the chilling sign-off, "Yours truly, Jack the Ripper." The author of the letter claimed responsibility for the murders and even sent a piece of a victim's kidney to the police as proof. The authenticity of these letters has been a subject of debate for over a century. Some believe they were indeed authored by the killer, while others argue they might have been hoaxes created by attention seekers or the press, capitalizing on the sensationalism of the case. As time passed, the Whitechapel murders faded from the headlines, but they have never faded from public memory. Jack the Ripper became a symbol of unsolved mysteries, a figure whose true identity has never been uncovered. The legacy of Jack the Ripper has permeated popular culture, inspiring countless books, movies, and documentaries. From Sherlock Holmes to modern crime series, the Ripper's influence endures. His name alone evokes the darkest recesses of the human psyche. The mystery of Jack the Ripper continues to captivate the imagination of amateur sleuths and professional investigators alike. In recent years, advancements in technology have breathed new life into the quest to unmask the serial killer. Cold case detectives and ripperologists have leveraged modern forensic techniques, such as DNA analysis, to re-examine evidence from the original crime scenes. Some believe that, at long last, we may be on the brink of discovering the Ripper's true identity, thanks to these scientific advancements. In conclusion, the mystery of Jack the Ripper remains one of the most enduring and haunting enigmas in criminal history. The identity of this elusive killer continues to elude us, leaving us with chilling tales of unsolved murders, gruesome methods, and taunting letters. The story of Jack the Ripper is a stark reminder that even the most heinous crimes can escape the grasp of justice. As we continue to investigate and analyze the evidence, there's hope that one day the mask of this infamous serial killer will be lifted, finally unmasking Jack the Ripper. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the heart of the Jack the Ripper mystery. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more captivating content on history's most intriguing mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the enigmas of our past.